Fiberifians. Well, it may not be morning where you are, so hello, Fiberifians. Welcome to this week's live craft and chat. I have so much to talk about. I always have so much to talk about. I don't know what the deal is, but if you can let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me, all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to pop the chat up over here just so I can see it. Jackie's in the house, Spanner Chick's in the house. We've got mods coming in to look after us to make sure that we can throw links up. It's fantastic. So everyone, for those of you that are new and you're wondering what the deal is with the blue names and the spanners, and we call them Spanner Chicks, these are our mods. We've got Sally as well, so Sally Schilling. So these guys, they come in, they double check people's comments, make sure there's no trolls harassing anybody, and also they can add in links. So I tend to do things like just ramble on, don't give them any forewarning whatsoever, and go, oh, hey, don't forget that Mystery Lace Club sign-ups are open. And then one of the mods who'll be fantastic will jump over to my website, grab the link for the Mystery Lace Club and throw it in at some stage. So it'll come eventually. So that's what the mods do for us. Now the thing for you to remember is while you're watching is you can't add links and you can't post pictures, but what you can do is join the Fibrific Fun Zone over on Facebook, which is a place for everybody to chat freely. These rules aren't imposed by me, they're imposed by YouTube. So I love to see what everybody's working on. The mods are in. We've got Spanner Chick and Jackie Doyle both tossing in links, so this is great. Is this a test? It was absolutely a test, Kim. Absolutely a test. Hey, Timmy Queensland, welcome to the chat. So if you want to join in the chat and you want to show us what you're making or ask for help on something with photos and what have you, you can go and join the Fibrific Fun Zone over on Facebook. It's a really fun little community, mostly of people who have joined into the live chats, funnily enough. So it's really, really a fun place to go and hang out on Facebook. So I'm assuming because no one said anything. Oh, yes, Bob has. She could hearing and seeing all good. Last week, you guys, we had the drama. You remember the drama of only having one camera, not two? Well, as you can't tell, but I've got a second camera again today. We found the missing camera. It was moved by Mr. Nobody, but it was in a drawer that I would never have expected a camera to be. Oh, hello. I did not put my phone on mute and it's just grinding all over the table. So, well, anybody who's joining the Fibrific Fun Zone, I think most of the mods are here who are modding over on the Fun Zone as well. So it might be a little while before you get a chance to be added in. The chickens took it. You know what? I wouldn't have put it past the chickens, but I'm not sure if they're into opening drawers, putting in heavy cameras and closing drawers. So, although they're pretty evil. They are pretty evil. So, maybe they figured you'd be using that drawer sooner than later. That's true. That's true. And if I wasn't still unpacking my suitcases from VidCon, I probably would have used that drawer a lot sooner. But yeah, so that was the fun. So I think, fingers crossed, I think we're all set up. I think we've got all our cool cameras are running. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to jinx it. Anyway, so today's chat is about planning projects. Now, I can already feel some of you snickering that I'm planning a project. Like, it's not my comfort zone. I don't tend to do it. But something I really wanted to do this year was to make something for myself from spun, dyed, all the way up to finished garment. Now, I don't know if the garment I'll get finished in time for the end of the year, but I definitely would at least like to have the spin done. So, so I'm going to go through step by step. We're going to have a chat about the pattern I've decided on and things like that. So hopefully when I click the pattern, it works. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get mods to bring it up so that you guys can have a quick look. Are you planning to put it in Ravelry? Yes, I am. So you guys can track it and follow on Ravelry. If you want to follow me on Ravelry, which let me tell you is not exciting, it's Fibrific Shanti. Spanner Chick says, I did wonder how it took so long for you until you needed something from it, but I figured it was none of my business. That's right. Absolutely. The Mr. Nobody Did It is living in my house as well from Leanne. Yeah. We don't normally too much get the Mr. Nobody here. Eventually someone normally owns up to it, but nobody seems to be the one on it today. So, let me think. Do we have any housekeeping that we need to talk about today? Spanner chick, let me know. One thing I have decided upon, which Kim, the Spanner chick, will be very happy to hear, which is I've decided to record my cotton dyeing experience. So those of you, every now and again I talk about this cotton yarn that I've got and all these dyes for cotton that I've got, and I freak out that I don't want to have to do it with everybody watching. So what I decided to do was to bring my comfort zone in a little, but still also share, is I'm going to stream it live for the Patreon members. So I'm still yet to work out a day and a time, and I don't know how much of it you'll get to see because it's my first time with it. So I will be streaming that for Patreon members alone. So if you guys are not Patreon members yet, you can join in for as little as $1 a month. It helps me by making it so I can afford all the gear it takes to live stream. It is not free to live stream, you guys. I do it because I love it, but I also want to make it a fun experience for you, and dodgy cameras and dodgy audio makes it not fun for anybody ever. So we're going to see how we go. Kim wants cake gradient dyeing as well. Kim's got this long list of things she wants me to do. So I'm not, you know, I'm getting through it slowly because I actually agree with just about everything on her list. Don't tell her, but I agree with everything on her list. It's just a case of working out the timing of getting it all done and all this sort of thing. But we've got summer coming, you guys. Summer coming. So I want to dye some cotton. I want to make something for myself in beautiful cotton. So I've got to dye it. And so that I don't feel so stressed out with so many people watching me fail my first cotton dyeing experience, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to fail, I've decided to do Patreon only. So those of you that aren't Patreon members, I'm sorry, but every now and again we have to have special perks for these guys who support me month after month, making it so I can do all this stuff. So, does cotton need heat? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's a reactive dye. So it's the cotton has to be soaked in a particular solution, which I can't remember off the top of my head. I've got all the stuff. I've got it all in little baggies with names on it. So it has to be soaked in a particular solution, mixed in a particular way, and then you pour it on, and then it's reactive. And I don't think it's heat reactive, but I have to double check. I need to do some more reading, guys. I'm not quite ready for cotton dyeing at all. Oh, it's very bad. It will be good for summer dyeing then. I think so. I think it will be. So much more daylight, heaps of extra time to do stuff. Yeah. Right, yeah, be better than wool that needs heat. And this is something else that's going to be an issue coming forward, is those of you that have been watching these streams for a long time know that I don't tend to do the live dye sessions once the temperatures start hitting 30 degrees. Now there's a particular reason for it in the past, which was the laptop that I had could not do it, could not run the stream in the heat. Computers don't like heat at all. They really don't. And then for me to make it do all of this next to pots of boiling water wasn't the wisest of decisions. So we don't do the dye streams once it gets really hot. But in saying that, I've got a new laptop now. It's got extra fans. It's got all sorts of amazing doohickeys that makes it cope with everything so much better. So we might test it. We'll see what happens. But if it crashes and burns and does thermal error, there won't be dye streams during the summer. But we'll still be out here in the air conditioning. I've got the air conditioning on here to keep us nice and cool. Man, my hands are going crazy today, like, whoa. So what's in the chat today? Hubby just rang like, dude, live chat is on. And Spanish chick wants to know, like, you answered. It's like, absolutely. So yeah, so we've got lots of things happening around Fibreific here. We've got, now this week we didn't end up doing any dyeing, so if you're waiting on a custom dye from me or a pre-order dye, I don't have it yet. And so yeah, it is I was going to do them this week, and then it just didn't end up happening. So my daughter's still on school holidays, and I think I'm just going to have to really just bite the bullet and not plan too much additional work during the school holidays, because I like to spend a bit of time with her. She's getting to the age where it's actually not cool to hang out with mum. So when she wants to like hang with me, I really want to like be like, "You okay?" So without being needy, you know, helicopter parent. But so yeah, so housekeeping crafters tonight, live dye next week, Fibre. Oh, thank you. Yes, housekeeping. I'm thinking, why are you telling me about your housekeeping? My housekeeping for you guys is tonight is the first Thursday of the month, and for those of you that don't know, the first and third Thursdays of the month are Caffeinated Crafters. We meet up at IKEA at Springwood in the restaurant area. We have dinner. I like the meatballs. It's, you know, you can order what you want. It's an inexpensive dinner, heaps of space, well lit. We don't have to panic if we need extra chairs. We just drag them over and drag tables. We totally make it our sort of own place. And the staff are fantastic. So IKEA tonight at 6:30. So come on and have a good time with us. Spanish Chick says, your daughter told me she was going to be in the live today and asked if I was jealous. Abby has every intention of getting out of bed and coming in and visiting with us. So she's awake. I did check. But she's still in bed last I checked. So we'll see. We'll see. Daiwen says that we're off to Japan next year. Oh my gosh, that's awesome news. Josephine says, see you at IKEA. Hey, Kathy, welcome to the chat. Chintami, I'll see you tonight. We've got lots of people that I know are already going, so that will be so awesome. I did try to put a post up in the Gold Coast Crafters group, the Gold Coast Craft Queens, but I think it was removed because I actually think it might have been against their group rules, but I couldn't find anything. So if you're a Gold Coast Craft Queen, come along as well. So, oh, Abby's jumped into the chat. Hi, Abby. So let's get on with this plan that I have. So I want to make a garment. Now, while I was at VidCon, I had planned to make a top, and I got most of the way through it, but didn't get it finished, which I will get that one finished. It just needs sleeves. But when I was at the airport, I saw this gorgeous top that this lady was wearing. So tempted to take a snap, didn't. And so I really wanted to make something similar, and it was just this sort of full lace, but not heavy lace, just lacy, long sleeve top that she just wore over the top of her long sleeve t-shirt, and it looked beautiful. And I could imagine it would also look lovely over a singlet, over a t-shirt, and it was just created this gorgeous thing. And hers was in this lovely olive green, which suited her just perfectly. And I was sort of staring at it like, do you guys stare at people who are wearing knits or crochet, like thinking, I'd like to make that. So I was just staring at this lady's top, like she had her back to me, so I was like, okay to stare, and I was having a good look at it, and I was just like, I really like this a lot. And I thought, I want to make something like this. This is the thing I want to make. And so I just really, I'd been tossing and turning, like, over what I wanted to make. I have all this beautiful fibre that I've been buying from Beersheba over the last 2 years, and I wanted to spin, dye, or maybe dye and spin. I haven't decided yet, but dye and spin, and then knit or crochet up a full garment for myself in something that I've hand spun, because I've only done that once, and as an actual garment. I've done it for like heaps of scarves and hats and cows and even a pair of socks, but I haven't done it for like a top. And so I really wanted to I want to do it. I haven't done it, and I want to do it. Abby, I did give Abby a heads up this morning and let her know she needed to jump onto her phone data. So, yeah. Spanish Chick says, I stare and think I could do that. And that's what I was like. I'm like, I could make that. Absolutely. Sally's letting us know that her computer's playing up, so the other mods have to jump in and do the work. But Nice says, yes, she does it to subconsciously work out how to make it. Absolutely. But Nice says, I don't look needlessly. Oh, I do. I'm like, If she had it turned around, it would have looked so weird. And there was people all around me, so they're probably looking at me like, She is weird, but I'm weird, so, I mean, they're right. So, I'm going to drop us down to another camera. Let's have a look. There we go. All right. So this is the fibre that I've got. I've got about, I have to check, but I think I've got 600 or 800 grams of Beersheba Farm Duchess, right? That's probably just a dash blurry. Sorry about that. There we go. Anyway, it is a delicious blend. Beersheba Farm Merino and Yearling Castledale in a delicious blend with A-grade mulberry and tussar silks. Produced, owned, and Australian processed with imported silks from beershebafarm.com.au. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, but this is just, it's delicious. Honestly, I've had it all the time. And my problem is I keep patting it. I think I'm going to felt it. So what I need to do is actually use it. So this is a 200 gram braid, which just looks gorgeous. So Beersheba Farm, totally get it. It's like 200 grams, $32. That's actually that's a bargain. Honestly, a legit bargain, right? And so I found a top that I want to make, and the pattern's a bit rough by the look of it, but at the same time, it's exactly what I want, except I think I need to add sleeves, which I think I can do. Because I got skills, man. I got mad skills. All right, let me just see if I can bring up I didn't put it in this one. Hang on a second. Let me see where it is. No, of course, no. Where did I put it? I'm just having a look around. No. Oh, there it is, there it is, there it is. Okay. There we go. And it's not working. Oh, glory. What a shock. So, basically, it is called, I've got it up on my screen. You guys can't see what's on my screen, I don't think. No. Or maybe, oh, hang on a second. What if I do that, then bring that up? Can you guys see anything? I'll have a look in a second. No, it's black for you. Let's fix that. Hang on. Let's kill it. All right, you guys can't see it. It is called, what's it called? The Marafada, M-A-R-A-F-A-D-A. I'm going to throw the link in the chat. Here we go. There you go. All right, so you guys can have a squiz black screen. Yeah, I saw. Sorry. We see blackness like my soul. Oh my gosh. Sally, it's so fluffy and it's soft and it's slinky from this the little 5% bit of silk. Drill worthy. Totally drill worthy. Okay, so if you guys want to pull that up, right click if you're on a computer. I don't know how to do it if you're on an iPad. Someone will tell you. I have no idea. Me and iPads, not friends. Anyway, so it's a full lace knit top, but it's not crazy. Now, this particular one is made with cotton. So I would need to have a little look at it and work out what would happen if I made it in wool, because I'm making it in wool and silk. Doesn't mean I won't eventually make it in cotton. If you guys don't have black screen anymore. So basically, it is 4-ply. And it's the size that they've worked the pattern on is an XL, but it's adjustable. Looking at the pattern, it looks really easy to adjust as long as we have a gauge, which I actually haven't checked, so I probably should look. And there's no sleeves, but it's just, they're just drop cap sleeves. They haven't added anything. So I'm just going to make some little sleeves and attach using the pattern. I wonder if you could use the construction technique from the add-along sweater, but the stitch pattern from this. I'd have to have a look at how they've made this. This looks like it's from the bottom up rather than the top down. But yeah, I'll have to have a look. Oh, where's the chat? There is Gage. Thank you, Chintami. The thing with gauge, right, guys, and I know some people hate gauge. I really do, and I know everybody hates making gauge swatches. Right? Like, I don't know anybody who's like, woohoo, gauge swatch. The thing is, if you make your gauge swatch, you wash it, you block it, and then you measure it. And yeah, it's a pain in the butt, and it takes time, and it uses up your precious yarn, right? So it is really one of these things. So if you make a gauge, especially if you're like me, and you're bigger, or you're an odd size, or you need to make certain allowances for particular body attributes, having the gauge swatch means that you can go, right, I need an extra 2 repeats because each repeat is this long. Did the face cam, okay, hang on. There we go. So let me just, it'll give it a second. So what's happening is this camera has a 30-minute timer where it sends its thing to sleep, and I've checked it and I found the screen and there's no option to turn it off. So we just have to put up with it while we work out. Maybe I'll buy another camera that doesn't do that. But this was just a camera that I had that works for everything but that one thing. So what color am I going for? I don't know. I'm not 100% sold. I'm thinking something something light. I don't have a lot of light clothing. I tend to wear a lot of sort of colors like this, but I've also been really enjoying wearing colors along the lines of, I'm just having a look around, sort of colors along the lines of this kind of blue. I'm just finding that they're working for me, which is really nice, which is such a nice change. But yeah, dual tones tend to work for me, but I wanted something a little bit lighter, just something for sort of summery and light and going that way. So I'm definitely going to be looking on the lighter side of things, but not white. White's not happening, okay? Because I'm a slob, right? And things just, they don't work for me, all right? But yeah, it's a really pretty pattern, so I'm hoping. It's time for some tea. I'm really hoping that it will look, that it won't wash my face out because I'm quite pale. And so, but I don't know, I'm not quite sure. Diwenter's like, you know, the chances are I'm probably going to go like Louise, or sort of like that. Louise is like the half strength lake. I'm definitely going to head towards more the half strengths. Rather than the full strengths on this particular one, especially in summer, because I wear a lot of like light grey or sort of like skin tony singlets, and so, or even black singlets, and I think that kind of colour would be really nice. Called it. Oh, Louise, right there. Yes, you called it. Do I get a prize? No, there's no prizes. At least not today. There'll be prizes like sneaky little, not announcing it, but guess what, we're doing pattern giveaways. They'll come up every now and again. They're fun. I enjoy doing that. So, and as I get more pattern codes, I definitely will be thinking. Kerry says, like me, the blue-green tones bring out the pink in a skin tone. Yeah, and I've got, I was running around this morning, I realized at the last minute, I'm like, I really need that extra light. So I'm like, 5 minutes to live, and I'm running out to the back patio to grab an extra light. So, Josephine Phillips, speaking of prizes, have I missed something? Morning, late to the party. Hey, Kathleen, I haven't seen your name for a while. So I'm going to be making this top. Now, it's calling for, it uses DMC Natura Just Cotton. Sorry, I'm just having a look at the meterage. It's 155 meters for 50 grams. Now, the thing is, cotton weighs more. So I'm going to have to be really careful with how I go for meterage. So it's basically a 4-ply. So I'm going to aim for a 4-ply and go from there. So what I need to do is I'm going to need to spin fairly fine singles to ply 2 together to get my 4-ply and go from there. So I'm thinking a nice Louise. I've got a skein of Louise over there. I can't even grab it. So, nice skein of Louise, or maybe even Lake Ultra side. But then all my clothes are in Lake because I keep going towards it because it's such a pretty color. Oh, what do I do? What do you guys reckon? Do you reckon I should try something other than Lake? Josephine won a store at the new yarn store at Banyo. Oh, I've heard so many good things about that new store. I've got to get out there. Sally's reminding people to not forget to hit the thumbs up and pop your chat into live chat, not top chat. Maybe I should put mine in live chat rather than top chat. Thank you for the reminder. Leanne says, I'm yet to make a trip to the yarn bowl. It's on my list. Mine too, but it's just so busy right now. I'm just so busy. Let me just go back to here so I can see what's going on. Okay, so, excuse me. So I need, hang on, pattern. I need the pattern again. So the pattern wants me to have around 800 meters. That's for the extra large. So I'm not an extra large, guys. I'm like a 2X, maybe 3, depending on how much ease is in this thing. I want a bit of ease and a little bit of length. I want more like a, I think the lady in the second photo, I think that's a dash long for me, but I want to have it like skimming my thighs. So past my waist, skimming my thighs. And I do want to have a bit of ease. I don't want it to be too snug, but I also don't want it to be like billowy and baggy. So I'm going to be adjusting it based on my measurements, and I'm going to be making sure I spin up around 1200 meters, because at the end of the day, if I've got extra yarn, I can make something else with it. Also, I want sleeves, so I might have to spin up a bit more as well. See, I'm going to have to work out some measurements, and what will also help with that is a gauge swatch. Okay, so I'll spin a bit, plan it, wash, do a gauge swatch, wash it, and then work out, I'll do a sketch out of what I'm going to need for the sleeves and work out some measurements and mathy stuff, which is horrible. I hate it, but it's going to be the way that's going to save me, because I would hate to only spin up 300 grams when I need a 400 or 350. So the reality is these come in 200 gram things, so I'm probably going to do 400 grams, which will hopefully get me around the 1600 meters, which should be enough, fingers crossed. But I'll do some math and we'll work it all out. So what I'm going to be doing over the coming weeks is actually getting some spinning done. I'm off to the Gympie Spinners Retreat this weekend, so I'm taking this with me. This is my project, and I'm going to start the spin. So hopefully you're all following me over on Instagram, because that's where I'm going to be posting all the photos of how it's going. I'll probably post a few on Facebook as well, because I can't help myself. And so I'll start getting things rolling, but the first thing for me is to get the yarn spun, and then to actually go on and grab a gauge swatch. So what I'll do is I'll spin a sample first, make sure that I'm happy with how it looks knitted up. If it's a bit too lofty, I might want to spin it a bit differently. So I want to do some samples to double check, because I would hate to go to all this effort and then go, you know what, I don't actually like it. And I know we've all been there. I know we've all gotten part of the way through a garment, or even all the way through a garment, and went, you know what, I don't love this. And then you have to pull it all out. And I don't want to do that, especially not with a hand spun yarn. Rebecca Nelson says, is that from Stash, or can someone still get that? Look, this is from Stash, but it is absolutely still available. It's Beersheba Farm Duchess from beershebafarm.com.au. Kim, can you toss a link up, please? Totally still available. So it's an Australian farmer. Wendy is amazing. So you can totally do. So it's done as 2 panels that are seamed for shoulders and sides. See, and that's the thing. That's going to make it nice and easy. Add in like the sleeves, basically work out, the depths of my sleeves and make sleeves big enough for my big old arms, and go from there. Timmy says, I got some Duchess at Bendigo this year, so it's definitely still available. Oh yeah, so this was mine from Bendigo this year. I've got some from previous years as well. So yeah, totally can still get it. Is it spin then dye, or dye then spin? It's a silly question. You just to answer that? Well, it's actually up to the individual. Some people like to have the fibre dyed first, and some people like to dye the yarn. I prefer dyeing yarn. It's a thing for me. I feel like I've got more control, and I'm less likely to damage it. It's so delicate in this stage. It's like, here, I'm just going to pull some out for you to have a look at, if I can. Where is the end? If I was the end, where would I be? There we are. So, look at this. Look at how delicate and soft that is. And I'm just so nervous about ruining it, okay? So I really want to spin it up first. And look, I know some people are like, oh, it's so boring spinning white. And you know what? I actually agree. I do find spinning white a bit boring. But I'll spin it white. And then the other thing is, because because I've already spun it, dirty hands, you can wash your hands as much as you want. You'll always have natural oils from your hands going into your spun fibre. It definitely needs a wash after that. And so I will definitely be spinning it first, then I soak it, then I dye it, and part of that process will get rid of all the excess you know, Chantel Handy stuff in there as well, so that'll actually save me a step. So I won't wash it after I've spun it. Some people like wash to set the spin. I'm not going to bother, except for my sample. My sample I'm just going to do up in white. I'm not going to worry about dyeing it and then doing the samples. So my samples I'll spin up in the white so that I've got an idea before I go to those next steps. Also, if it's nice and open, like really open, I might be tempted to go a shade darker with the dyeing, but if it's a little bit like closed up, like if it doesn't be as open as I'm hoping it will be, I can tone it back a little bit, just making the dye a bit lighter. I can adjust sort of the light of the whole garment based on how holy it is. Does that make sense? Let me know if that made sense, or if I'm just like talking out of my butt right now. Where are we? The fluff looks so soft. Oh, it is. Does anybody want me to bring this fluff to Caffeinated Crafters tonight so you can have a pat? Let me know in this chat. But thank you, Kim, for tossing up the link for Beersheba Farm. If there's somewhere to pop a comment or something, just let her know that I sent you. You could make the top and dye it afterwards. Oh, absolutely. I could totally make the top and do like a dip dye. My only concern is, because I want sleeves, making it so the sleeves don't go weird or on an angle for their dye is orcs. So I would either have to do like a solid flat dye or something crazy, which I'd be tempted to do, and then I wouldn't like it or wouldn't wear it. So yeah, I don't think I'll do that. I think I'll dye the yarn. Sally says sure, even though I'm not going to be there. Black Pearl Knit says I'll try, might be there a bit late. Is it at the food court area? Yes, it is in the food court area. And it doesn't matter if you're late, because we're there until like they kick us out of the food court area at around 8:30ish, and then we wander through and escape IKEA by 9. But we're there from 6:30. So, and I think even Abby and Tim are going to come for tea tonight. My husband's name is Timmy, just so you don't get confused. And they're going to come for tea, and then they're going to shoot off after that. So Abby will probably try and talk Tim into buying half of IKEA on the way out, because that's what she does. So, in my cup today, you guys, as I top up, I'm just going to move this Fibre aside, is T2 green rose or rose green. It's a green tea with rose. It's delicious. It's so nice. Kim, see, I pulled my thermos out of my suitcase. I still haven't unpacked my suitcase. I was looking at it yesterday and I was like, you know what? I'm going to need all this stuff for camp. I'm just going to use this suitcase for camp. So, yeah. Abby says, I do need a chest of drawers. Not yet, Abby. Not yet. Make it light pink. I'm going to keep saying it until she says, I see it. I see it, Lindsay. Pink is not really my colour usually. I do find the occasional pink that I like. But pink's, funnily enough, I dye a lot of pink yarn, but it's not actually one of my favourite colours. If you're going in 2 cars tonight, maybe you can swing by my place and grab the shells for Abby. We are going in 2 cars tonight, but I'll have to have a look. I found my T2 thermos. Well, Mum found it where she hid it. Well, good job, Mum, for hiding it, but I'm glad you found it, Jackie. Black Pearl Knits hopes she gets there in time to see Abby then. Well, I hope so too, because I'm sure you guys will get along like a house on fire. But yeah, so this is the plan. This is the absolute plan. Do you guys like my plan? Like, do you think it's a bit too, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, too big, too much, not grandiose. There's another word. I can't, my brain's just like, no words. There are no words that describe this thing. Spanish Chick says it's a great plan. Teal or blue would look lovely. Ambitious, that's the word. Thank you, Kim. You always know the right words. Absolutely. I'm wondering if it's too ambitious for me to actually complete. Because you guys know I'm terrible at finishing things, right? Like, I mean, I'm not kidding. Check this out. I still haven't finished Dad's hat. Like, I'm getting there. I'm finishing off the last rows of the 4th colour, and I'm about to join the 5th colour on. I mean, definitely getting there, but I'm not done. I'm not done. And so what? Oh, that's true, Chintamani. You're right. So what? So what if it's ambitious? You're 100% right. Lindsay says, I think it's an amazing plan. Now, if you start from shearing the sheep, that's a step too far. Well, Lindsay, believe it or not, I was tossing up whether or not to go with one of my fleeces that I've got and actually take you guys through every step of the washing of the fleece, the drying it, the combing it, because I really want to show you guys these new amazing hand combs that Margacraft have brought out. And you know, like I've done that. I've made scarves and socks from fleece. So, but not a garment. I've never spun a full size, like, proper garment. I got most of the way through nearly a jumper once and then realized the jumper was just like, rah. It was huge. And it's still sitting in a bag. I didn't pull it back. I was so disappointed. Wench says I'll be a bit late tonight. That's totally fine. That's totally fine. But yeah, it would be a 2-year project for sure, Jackie. If I was going from fleece. In saying that, I got fibre scour for days, man. I'm just like, but yeah, you could start making mohair. I don't want to make mohair. Mohair is beautiful, but there are so many beautiful places to buy it from already. I'm not going to go to that effort. Like, oh, let's just get our own goats. Also, I can't have goats here. This is a suburban block. It's a big suburban block, but it's still a suburban block. We're not allowed to have like anything more than 6 chickens. No roosters. I think we've hit the limits with the cats. We're allowed to get another dog if we want, but I don't really want to. We've got tons of fish. We could get more chickens, but last time we had 6 chickens at one stage, and we were just like, who needs eggs? Oh my God, we're dying. We're drowning in eggs. So now we have 3 chickens, and that's a good amount of eggs for us. You'll probably go early and leave early. My kids like to eat much earlier than we are meeting. I understand. I totally understand, Kim. I'll probably be there a dash early tonight as well. But yeah, so I've got this beautiful plan to use this gorgeous fibre to make myself a lacy top. I love this pattern a lot. I'm really hoping that it doesn't beat me. Like I just don't go like, oh my God, I can't do it. I don't want it. I want to succeed. I want to have this plan and I want to succeed. So what I'm going to be doing over the coming months, it's going to be months, guys, is showing you guys where I'm up to. And then basically once I get the spinning done, we'll have spinning live streams where I'll be spinning during the chat, so that you guys can see how things are going. And when it comes to dyeing the yarn, I'll be doing that live. But then when it comes down to the sitting down and knitting, I might do some little short videos, but I won't be doing like big long ones. It is a free pattern, so if you guys want to join me on the journey, I'm looking at this thinking Pegasus would work a treat. So if you know, like what, for an XL size, 2 skeins of Pegasus should do it, with no sleeves. So if you want sleeves, you definitely need at least 3, possibly 4. It will depend on, you know, size. For me, I would buy 4, definitely, and probably a 5th one for safety. But that's me. Kim's popped up a thing. Rebecca has a wild-eyed kitten beating me up. Oh no. Kathleen, the link's literally 2 comments above you. It is the Marifata. I don't know how to say that word. I'm saying it wrong. Marifata. And Chintami says, ooh, my essence of violetish. See, I think that would be beautiful. I've crocheted up some lace with that essence of violetish, and I think that would be stunning. Absolutely stunning. But I'm going to go a bit more semi-solid for me because I want to wear it over stuff. It's a great pattern. Well, it's a great looking pattern. I haven't tried to work through it yet. It could be a hair pulling pattern. Not a lot of people have made it. There's only 5 projects here on Ravelry. I know the original pattern was not written in English and it's only recently been translated to English. It was originally in Portuguese, but there's charts, so I can do charts. But yeah, and I want to make sleeves, so of course I can't just do what they've done, you know. I'm not going to make it in cotton. I'm going to make the sleeves. I need to make it bigger, like all these things that make it a more stressful project. But I'm hoping you guys will come on the journey with me and encourage me Daiwen says we could do a cowl. We could totally do a cowl. So those of you that need to spin first, get started, guys. Grab your fibers, grab your yarns, get started. It's going to be a while before we get ready to start the knit along. So I will definitely keep you guys informed when I'm nearly ready for knit along. So obviously once we start dyeing the yarn, I'll be like, hey, knit along's starting real soon. Like, this yarn's dry, man. I'm balling it up and getting started. Spanish Chick says, I am the queen of not following patterns. Ask Di Wench and Margaret Scarborough. Oh, I know. You're terrible at following patterns. It's a joke when you're like, hey, I've got this pattern. We're all like, oh, really? Like, what? You're just using it as a stitch dictionary. Leanne says, we all need a challenge. I agree with you. Now, unfortunately, again, this one's knitted. But I'm crocheting up my Bantam cat shawl. I do need to get Dad's hat done first. I know that's knitted too, and I feel a bit guilty about the whole everything's knitted at the moment. So I want to get this done, and then I'm going to go back to working on my Bantam shawl as well. So I've got a crochet project, a spinning project, and then eventually I'll have a crochet project and a knitting project. So, you know, it'll be good. Me too, pattern is a stitch dictionary. Yeah, Carrie. Like, look, sometimes that works really well. For me, I need the pattern. I'm not that adventurous like you guys. So this stepping out and adding sleeves, whew, that's new. It's so new. Daiwen says, I did my first brioche decreases yesterday. Woot. I'm so proud of you for giving this a go. Daiwench is Andrea, who comes in and does the dyeing for us. And knitting is relatively new for Andrea. This is her first brioche project, so I'm so proud that you're kicking its butt. I think it's great. For those who don't want to spin, Bendigo Woolen Mills usually has their cotton on special around late November, early December. Absolutely, if you want to make it in cotton, go ahead for sure. I reckon their 4-ply cotton will be fine. That's 4-ply is 800 meters for 200 grams. I think it's 400. I think that's right. Someone needs to let me know, because I think you get 800 meters or around 800 meters for the 200 gram balls. So you probably only need 1 or 2 balls, like, for the most part, to make it. Like, yeah, that'd actually make it a really inexpensive project as well. Spanish Chick says, I changed her name. I know. Kim's always doing things when she has access to my phone. And that's why you don't let Kim have access to your phone, Andrea. Honestly. It'll be like me letting Abby touch my phone, you know. Okay, so it's 670 meters per 200 grams. So that's 335 meters per 100. Is that the 8-ply, though? That's the 8-ply, right? Because their 8-ply is more like a fingering weight. It's not really a true 8-ply. She's sneaky. She is. But my phone, I always have it locked, so no one can get in. Like, you know. Yeah, friend, you're right. Bendigo cotton is a bit thinner than the ply, they say, so keep that in mind. Really? It's the 4-ply? Hang on, let me look at what the actual yardage on the Natura cotton that they recommend is. So bear with me while I open up another page. So their 50 grams are 155. So for 100 grams, they're like 310. So it's still thinner than what they recommend. What's their DK meterage, you guys? She has her Face ID on her phone, so I say, look at this, and she looks and it unlocks. Oh my, see, I don't have Face ID for that precise reason. Does it come on cones? I don't know about the cotton. I know you can get things wound back onto cones. I don't think it comes on cones. She has no faith in me. Look, I wonder why. That's what I'm going with. I wonder why. So next week, big week for dyeing. Not this. This is not what I'm doing. I'm just going to move this aside. I'm going to knit some stitches. Okay, so it's 485 for the 200 grams, which makes it 245. Okay, so you really need something in between the two for Bendigo. yeah, that meterage isn't great. You'd have to do a swatch and work out your gauge and your sizing. You'd need to check it because the 4-ply is too thin, the 8-ply is too thick. So you'd need to have a little squiz around and work out what you can do. But yeah, like let's definitely do it as a, I definitely go thinner yarn and larger needles because this isn't crochet, this is a knit pattern. Otherwise you'll lose drape. Yeah, and I think their pattern actually calls for quite large needles. Let me just look. 4 mils. Yeah, that's quite large needle for a 4-ply is 4 mils. Yeah. So I'm just going to kill that one just so we don't have too many things running. But yeah, cotton is an interesting choice for a top because it's a bit like alpaca in that sorry, my stitch marker's whacking. In that it will it'll stretch over time and it won't bounce back because cotton has no memory. So you'll end up getting a longer and longer tunic, which, you know, is totally fine if that's what you want. Marifata is an Algarve expression used to designate a strong and determined woman. It's also used to designate a very angry woman. Well, I mean, I could be both during this process. I could be both angry and strong. So yeah, both angry and strong. So, but whereas I think my, let me think, the Pegasus is 390 meters per 100, so that's still a dash on the thickish side. I'm just thinking, I don't really have anything in my stable that's quite thin enough, because then I jump down to the 400 meters. Sorry, I go 200 meters per 100 grams for the DK, or 400 meters for the 4-plies. So yeah. One of my Grace's friends wants me to pick them up mid-morning Monday from Springfield. Like, no, it's going to be 39 degrees. What? What's going on Monday? I don't understand. But yeah, so we've got like this. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to the whole process of it. And what we're going to be doing is testing, swatching. I'll make sure I've got photos going up everywhere so you guys can see where I'm up to. And you guys can help to keep me accountable to keep working on it. Like, there'll be times where I will absolutely just have to put it down and do some other work. But like, it's a free pattern, so I won't be stressed out about working on it during live streams and things like that. Oh, there's a heat wave coming. Oh, I didn't even know. And Monday's a public holiday. Yeah, I knew Monday was a public holiday. I wasn't actually 100% certain we got that public holiday. I was talking to someone about it, and they're like, Monday's a public holiday. And I'm like, really? Are you sure? I'm like, yeah. So, yet again, I go to Gympie Camp, and it's going to be sweltering hot. So, in a room that has no air conditioning. It happens to me every year at Gympie. I'll just make sure I take sheets and loose, light, comfy pajamas so I don't die. But I get home Sunday night. So is the heat wave coming before or after camp? I'm going to have to look it up now. I wasn't looking at the weather, you guys. I was trying to be not judgmental of the fact we haven't had any decent rain. And so, yeah. When are you off to Gympie? Friday afternoon. I go from Friday to Sunday, much to Abby's disgust. Monday's a public holiday, so I can get all the stuff. It's only Monday and Tuesday that's over 35. Oh, yay! That's good. It's building up to a hot Monday. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you for that. It's like, I need a weather report. Oh, dear. Oh, there we go. Do I need to do one more round? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, one more round. Okay. Because then I need to join on the other colour, which I don't have out here, you guys. I didn't bring it out. Because I thought I would go on and on more about my other thing. So I've nearly finished the project that's on my wheel. Oh, what happened there? Something happened. Oh, I just got a warning. on my phone, like, you've used some data. It's like, yeah, I got to change that warning. It warns me when it's like, oh my God, you've hit 2 gig of data. And it's like, I've got 50 gig on my phone now. Like, I used to have 3, so 2 gig was like a terrifying warning. And now it's just like, ugh, that's annoying. Rebecca says, I can give you some rain. We got too much here in Minnesota. I've been seeing some terrible things about the rain you guys have all been getting. Right, click the bomb. Thank you. If you guys want to see what the weather is in Queensland right now. But yeah, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, she says. So do you guys plan your projects out like this, or are you a bit more what I'm normally like, which is, ooh, shiny, I make that. Face cam, thank you. Thank you. Little screen gone. Yeah, it goes every 30 minutes, guys, and that's the longest. Oh, and my mic just fell off. That's great. Everything's falling apart. It's all falling apart on us. Hey, Dizzy. So yeah, so this is going to be a fun project of planning and making what we plan. She's still sewing. Face cams. See, my chat box is over my little face cam box, so I really appreciate you letting me know when when it's gone, because I can't see. I should probably have my YouTube open here so that I can see what's going on there. Make sure that I'm not doing swirly thing of doom. You need a timer on your phone that beeps at 29 so you can touch something. Yeah, unfortunately, the only thing I've got that I can touch is actually the photo button, which is annoying because then it takes a photo. So I've got to work out if there's something else I can do at this stage, because it also means I have to have the camera where I can reach it. Whereas ideally, I'd like it just another, 20 centimeters back, just to give me a bit more room around my face. But yeah, I don't have that luxury right now. So, what have I done? Hang on, I did a yarn over when I didn't want to do a yarn over. Get off, yarn over. You are not required. Oh, and stitch marker, stop it. Here listening while I work. Hey, Natalie, how you going? So yeah, so it's fun planning, and parts of it will be fun. Other parts will be less fun. Spinning up 400 grams of white yarn. Not on my highest list of things that I want to do, but I also don't want to dye it before it's spun. So it's like better the devil I know than the devil I don't. And saying that, I have a kilo of amazing, absolutely amazing fibre that I bought from White Gum Wools. So it's beautiful, beautiful, soft Australian wool. And I've got a kilo of it ready for me to trial some dyeing on. You should teach dye wench to treadle spin. That'll come. That'll definitely come down the track. Can't overwhelm her with too much stuff. I just sent my mum to VM. What's VM? Jackie's just remembered she's got to order some tea from Natalie. Natalie is Tea for Talia. She does all that beautiful tea. Do you guys remember the gorgeous tea advent box I got at Christmas time? I'm still getting through some of those. I didn't get quite through all of them. Oh, voicemail. Sorry. You sent your mum to voicemail. I hope it wasn't important. Jeepers. So yeah. Oh, hang on. I want to have a sip of my tea, but I want to get to here first. There we go. Bam. So you guys, I can't see how many are in the chat right now. According to my phone, there's 5, which I can just tell by the names appearing. That's not right. So how many have we got today? I'm just going to sit back. I'm actually just going to drop us up to our single camera. Just lean back. Lean forward where I'm a bit more in focus with my blotchy skin. Do you guys like my blotchy skin today? Let me have a look here. Oops. I want that and I want that. No, that. Thank you. And that. And that. Oh, gosh. It's 44 watching and 34 thumbs up. Oh. Sally says she's still working through her Advent tea. Thank you, Sally. I do feel better about that now. We will need to change to shorter needles soon. Yeah, so I've got to get started onto see I've dropped the camera. So I've got to get started onto the next color, which basically will happen here. So I've got that much more to do. Then I get started on the darker grey. I've got uh, what have I gone with? I've got latte, coffee, and then double shot. So once I start the double shot, and that's where all the decreasing starts to happen. So I actually don't go onto shorter needles. I go onto two. I add a second needle to the mix so that I'm working on two circulars. Darwin says, if you had blue shorties, if I have blue shorties, that would be great. Unusually awesome. Hey! Which would you recommend as a nice strong tea for everyday drinking? For Natalie Power from Jackie. Knit Spin Girl Creations. I was wondering why you sent your mum to vegetable matter. Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's no. Do you know if you're likely to get blue cables in as a separate thing? Yes, I will be. I can get them in, I think it's in the same lengths as what comes in the pack, but I can't get them in any longer. I was having a look because they were talking about being able to get the blue in all the sizes, but so far they're only available in the short ones. But I can definitely look into that for you, Kim. There you go. That's like PM me. Josephine says she's clicking around the Fibre website on my phone while watching you on an iPad. Oh, well, I'm so glad the website's working on a phone now, Josephine. After when I was at VidCon and it wasn't working, I was like, oh, I'm so not happy. Are you looking for something in particular? I might be able to tell you where to look. Have lots of yummy yarns still available, lots of lovely lace weights. I'm looking at a massive box of lace weight yarn, which is what made me say it. So yeah, there's some things. Kim says, I'm happy with the same lengths. That way I can use two circs together for when you get to decreasing. Absolutely. Chintami is also interested in blue cables. All right, you guys, I will see what I can sort out. I've got a Chaggu order on its way. It's landing any day now. I've got to double check the tracking. I think Friday, but maybe Monday. I've got an order coming in. There's a lot of people waiting on some sets and stuff, which is a little frustrating for them, because it took a little while with me being away and what have you. So they're coming, they're nearly here. And oh, I see you've approved my reviews. Yes, I did. Thank you. If any of you use products from the Fibrific website, feel free to go and put over like an honest review of how you felt about it. I will approve them. I'm not all about the 5-star only thing. So if you know there's something you didn't like or something that you came out differently than you expected, totally go and throw a review in. I'm always looking for more reviews. It's, believe it or not, it's actually good for your business to have reviews, whether they are like 5-star reviews are great, don't get me wrong. If you love something, give it 5 stars, but honesty is more important. And so YouTube actually rank websites with ratings higher, not YouTube, Google rank websites higher if they've got these sorts of things. So, you know, I'm all about trying to get people to see the website. Knitspin Girl says she loves her blue cable set. That's awesome. Spanish Chick says, I'm a verified owner. Sorry? I don't understand. What's a verified owner? I'm confused. Can you please add triangulum in TIFF to your dye list? I'm not sure if I've got any undyed triangulum. I'll have a look. I'm putting in another order with the company I get the triangulum from, so I'll see if I can grab some more. Next to my review, it says I'm a verified owner. Oh, because because it can see that you've legit bought from my website. I'm not in a hurry for my set. I have to finish my jumper first. Well, I think your set's in the box as well, Lisa. I think everybody's sets are in this box coming. I think. There might be 1 or 2 things that came in after. I don't know. There's lots of stuff happening, guys. There's so much going on. And I'm struggling at the moment to keep up with everything. So that's why we have the amazing Tammy on board now. So she's been coming in once a week. And she's not just packing orders, you guys. She's actually reorganizing things, which At first I was a bit like, oh, that's going to be fun. I'm not going to be able to find a damn thing. But the reality is I'm finding things so much easier and faster. It's just fantastic. And then with Andrea coming in for helping up the dyeing, she's actually taking on a lot more of the standard recipes, doing them on her own now. So I'm able to go off and research for more videos. I've got some videos that are just ready for filming now. I meant to get some filming done yesterday and it just didn't happen because I decided to spend the day with my girl. How much does a Chow Tunisian sit weigh? I don't know. I think it's like 190 or 200 grams, something like that. They're not heavy. They're under 500 grams. But yeah, around the 200-ish. I'd have to weigh some. I don't have a set here to even weigh. I'm just looking up in the box, but no, there's no sets here to weigh. We need a name for Tammy. Oh, you mean like, Spanner Chick, Die Wench, something for Tammy. So like, I don't know. I have a pattern design in lacy diamonds that I will call Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, so it needs to be Tiff due to the inspiration of the colour name. I absolutely understand. I'll have to have a look. It's going to have lots of beads in it. Oh, I like beads. Beads are great. I wanted to stretch out my leg and make sure I don't kick the camera. But yeah, I'll definitely see how it goes. How's the Gum Blossom yarn lady? Sorry, Simone. I haven't heard from Simone, but I do hope she's feeling better as well. I know that she was a bit just really in poor shape, so we've pushed back the dye stream until she's feeling better. So hopefully it doesn't get too hot and we can still have it. So, but we'll see. But we can always do it later on. I try not to add pressure when people are crook. I mean, they're crook. It's a pity you don't need pink beads, Jackie, because she knows where you can get some. Oh my gosh, yes. Anyone need pink beads? They're a really nice pink. I've only got like 2 kilos of them. I'm gonna put a kit together using those beads, you guys. Absolutely gonna have to put a kit together. I might even put 2 kits together. One kit that's in crochet and one kit that's in knit. And they all use these beads, so we'll see. There's so many of these beads. I turn around every now and again. Everything else I've got like a couple of 100 grams, maximum, like 250 grams tops. And it's just like, and this one's 2 kilos. So you're just like, oh my God. I have some other ideas percolating that might just need a bunch of pink beads. These are little size 8 beads, just so you know, they need to be on lace weight. Just these particular ones. Like, you don't have to have these ones. I'm just saying, if you want to use these ones, they're going to need lace weight. My camera's up a bit high. What I think it is I think I've scooched down my seat and got real comfy. There we go. So back to my knitting. I'll drop down again. Double camera. Bam, bam. Finish this round. Yeah, we have them, so we may as well find a use for them. I agree. And they're beautiful beads, It's not like they're dodgy beads. They're amazing Miyuki seed beads. So, we have to find a use for them. Well, look, and the reality is they're not going to go to waste. It's not like they're going to go off or anything. They're glass. So, no singing. Sorry. Sorry, copyright. You're right. Not that I know if like 3 bars, like 3 beats counts. Yeah. I don't know if Abby's planning on coming out or not, or if she's just... I wouldn't be surprised if she's still in bed and hasn't had breakfast yet. Because that's like half the course for Abdabs on the school holidays. Mind you, in saying that, because she's sleeping in, I'm not getting up to like 8 in the morning while she's sleeping in. Pity they aren't the right type of blinglets. Yeah, I know, they're way too small. That's what I was thinking. Tunisian set, lace yarn, maybe some beads under 500 grams. Yeah, I think that I have to just let me double. Actually, I've got my set. It's in the house. I'll give it away and I'll let you know. Daiwen says she's been chatting with me. Yeah, that's good. I know she's awake. She popped in 11 billion pink packs. All right, that's it. I don't have the other color out here. I did not foreplan that very well. So we are at the end of the round. This is the end of the round as we know it. Maddie gets up earlier during the holidays than he does when he has school. Oh, no, Abby does not. Thank the heavens. Because I am not a fan of mornings. I would much rather stay up until midnight working than get up at 6 o'clock in the morning like I have to do during school term. So being able to get up that bit later is really nice. You message me about it a bit later for sure. Oh, but nice, that'd be cool. We'll get it sorted. Are you using the 4-inch tips to make the 16-inch circular? I am, yeah. I'm actually using, this is actually a fixed circular. So, but yeah, you would use a 4-inch tip to get the 16 inches, but I'm just using a straight up fixed. And I'll use the other one later. So when I go to 2, I'll use this fixed and I'll use my interchangeables as well at the same time. But I have a couple of these 16-inch fixed just in my collection. I've got, I think this is the 3.5. Yeah, I think I've got a 3.5, a 4, and a 4.25 that I just have in the 16 inches just shoved into my case. Just because I like to do hats in the round. I don't like Magic Loop. Magic Loop is bleh. And I know that's not a popular opinion, but that's how I feel about Magic Loop. I use it when I have to. It's not like I refuse to use it. I use it when I have to, but I much prefer going the actual size of the needles, which is something I love about the blue shorties, is that I can get that smaller. But still, at some stage, you've either got to switch to DPNs or Magic Loop. And at least with the blue shorties, their cable is a bit more flexible. The Margicraft red cable, my absolute favorite cable, is not great for Magic Loop. It tends to... It's a bit too stiff, and it tends to, I'm not sure if you can see, it sort of pushes out the stitches because it doesn't like to sit like that. It wants to sit like that because it doesn't curve in naturally tight. Whereas the blue use the mini cable technology, and so they're much more supple. So you get the advantage of the no kinking, the quality of the reds, but a finer version of it, so it actually comes in nicer for a Magic Loop. Is that your second or third? This is my second. It's just taken so long because I just keep putting it down and doing something else. Jackie Doyle says, each to their own. There's no knitting police. Absolutely, there's no knitting police. Knit Spin Girl prefers 2 circs to Magic Loop. Me too. Spanish Chick says you can Magic Loop, but you need a much longer cable as you have to go for the longer loops. The reality is I don't. I will literally go through a nightmare getting smaller and smaller, just pulling one cable out and twisting it just a little inch at the end, just to go through and get this like as small as possible before I have to change, because I'm like, I don't want to go hunting for the next bit. I want to keep knitting. Diane says I'm using 5-inch tips, and maybe that's why I'm struggling. That's absolutely why you're struggling, because you don't have a 16-inch circular. You have a 18, so 4, 5 by add 2. Yeah, you've got 18 inches, so it's going to be that bit wider, which is going to make it less friendly. Looks like the sea to the shore. It's not really showing the colors very well. Let's see. That green, hang on a second, I'm going to go to the full camera, and then do this. It's not going to zoom, there we go. It's not going to, it's, I've got it set on a focus point, which is my face, so it's not going to autofocus any closer. Oh. But these are the colors. This is definitely more like reality. Bring it back for clarity. There you go. So we've got the light coffee, we've got like latte coffee, and we're going to have double shot, which is double this darkness. So from that to that, but from that to that. Does that make sense? No? And then we've got aloe, and I can't remember the name of this green. It's different green. Got it written down, guys. I know that it's written somewhere. I actually think it's on the website even, but I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And here's my other hat. Just happens to be right here in these pretty bright colours. So I don't know which one I like better. Like, I mean, this one's mine and that one's my dad's. So the reality is I need to like this one better because that one's mine. So yeah, so, oh, there we go, pull them back so they're in focus. But Dad wanted something a bit less bright, so that's why he's got this one. But I like the bright. So, where are we? The colours are great, aren't they? That green. Oh, it's Timmy. Yes, that green. I know, Tim. You're on my die list. You absolutely are on the die list. She'd have 20-inch. You can't use the 5-inch with the 12-inch. The tips are too long. Yeah, absolutely. The tree tops to the forest floor. Yep. Shintami says, I'm very tempted to get it for Dad. It's a gorgeous kit, honestly. Plus the 12-inch cable. So there's an 8-inch cable. There's an 8-inch cable, not 12-inch. So the 8-inch cable is with the 4-inch set. So unless you bought it separately, so there's an 8-inch cable. There's 20 centimeters. There's 35. What does 35 come down to? I think that's your 12. So yeah. So she's making work for herself. Is the reality of it. Dog hair on Dad's hat. But yeah, so there's so many things coming up, guys. We've got so much dyeing to do. We've got more Mystery Lace Club kits to go out. Those of you that aren't involved in the Mystery Lace Club and you're a knitter, you should totally get involved, even just for 1 month. It's so much fun. But that's what you gave me. What? I'm confused. Dimensions, I have a 12-inch cable, but that's what you gave me. Did I give you a 12-inch or an 8? I thought Oh, that's good. No, because we went through the set. I don't know. Bring it in on Tuesday. Bring it tonight, and I'll have a look at it for you, and I'll bring some cables and bits. Well, actually, you're in the decrease anyway. You don't need it. You don't have to worry about it. I know someone who I can order it from. I'm jumping around a bit now because I'm just sort of catching up with the chat, and my throat's a bit sore. Do you know what? I like this tea. It's tasty, but it doesn't do for me what the licorice legs does. The licorice legs does this beautiful coating effect on my throat, so I can keep talking. My throat's very, very dry. This one's a bit more, I don't know, tanniny. It's green tea, so it shouldn't be. So what size do I need now? I'm decreasing. You just need either double pointeds or I'm just filling up my tea, you guys. Either double pointeds or just the same again, really. You can get away with it by putting a finer needle on the end that you're not the end that you're not knitting from, so it can just come off the back. And then still one tip from each end to feed off and on with, and then go from there, if that made sense. So yeah, I personally prefer 2 circs. I think it's a bit easier. Oh dear, what's oh dear, odd but nice? Tonight, yes, tonight, Caffeinated Crafters. Seriously, you guys, if you are local in Brisbane, it's just straight on the highway, so even if you've got to come in for a little bit, it's not hard to get to. And at that time of the night, I suppose if you're coming from the city, it's a bit trickier because you might get caught in the tail end of peak hour. I'm not sure. You'd have to check. But coming up from the Gold Coast, it flies. There's no traffic. The blue cables work with small tips. They do, absolutely, because they are the mini cable technology with the small cable connector. So that's something I love about them. I'd want one of those hats with the main colour being mist with jewel tones. So as in, like, I know the mist. I don't have any handy. But do you mean more colours like these sorts of things, like blurple and like that colour's really not coming up very well there. Let me see if we've got a better shot here. Bam. Nope, it's still lame. This is such a beautiful bright green. I love this. It looks so pale. It's not pale. It's like it. Hang on. I'll go back to the big back. No, it's not helping. This is such a beautiful bright color. This is Moran. It's my current favorite color, and there's photos on the website, so you can check it out. But anyway, Moran, and I'm thinking Blurple. What else? Maybe like a nice Poison Ivy, which is that really bright green in the blanket kit. That's making it look pale. That's not pale. I've got to do something with this camera. You are annoying me with my colors. But Poison Ivy maybe, and maybe even a little bit of Scarlet Witch. I don't know, because you need 5 colors. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you need 5 colors plus your main color. I'll totally work on a bright kit. I mean, this is brights. This is the brights, but we could do a jewels as well. So yeah. Love the blurple. I love the blurple too. It's this top that I'm making. I was so tempted to go hard and do something blurply, but I'm not going to. Let me look. The little flexi sock tips has some, but I'm not sure if she's used them yet. Green Burrow's Tail. Yes. Hang on. This green, the second green, is Burrow's Tail. Thank you. It was driving me mad not knowing. That one's Burrow's Tail. That one's Aloe. I'm checking out the website now. What are you doing? What I need to do is I need to drop this camera down a little. It's actually bugging me that it's cutting me off so low. And I'm gonna do it. You ready? I feel better now. It's so silly, isn't it? It's just like, it just needs to come down just a little bit. I'm ordering stuff from a friend of a friend. Okay. So red, green, blue, blurple, maybe soulstone. Which blue are you thinking? So are you thinking like Tiff? Like the bright blue? Like, I think there's Tiff in the blanket. Let me squeeze. Oh yeah, there's Tiff in the blanket. So you've got Tiff you can have a look at. See, Odd But Nice actually has a blanket kit. So she's able to like match her colours and be like, okay, I want these but in the DK. So we'll have to dye them up for her, but we can totally do it. Lake. Oh, sorry, yes. The Moran. Probably Moran rather than Lake if you're going with the brights. Which is part of the Lake package. So Lake is the midway point, Louise is the half strength, and Moran is the double strength. So are you guys talking the crazy trios for socks? I haven't used the crazy trios, to be honest. I'm just killing some stuff here. Alright. Sounds like our coffee orders. It does a bit, doesn't it? Yeah. Latte, coffee, double shot, half strength, full strength, double. Yeah, it does a bit. It does a bit. And I quite like being able to do those sort of tonal changes. Is that something you guys like? Like, let me know if you guys are into it or not, because I really like it and I like being able to utilize it. But if I'm the only one who's enjoying it, then it's probably not really worth me continuing on, because it was something I was going to start planning to do for all of my like 20 base colors that I have, is going like the half strengths and the double strengths. Kim wants gradients. Gradients are a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. They're a special treat, Kim. They're never going to be part of my standard unless, you know, I'm able to put like Andrea on more days a week going forward and be like, Andrea, I'm going to teach you how to dye gradient. because gradients are tricky and they're very time consuming to get right. It's very easy to do a bad gradient, and I don't want to do all the browns are cafe orders in your hat. They are. They absolutely are. We also have milky tea, which is half this again, so it's very pale. Daiwen says, I can't wait to learn. So yeah. Spanish Chick says, ooh, I gave my friend the rainbow shawl for her birthday. Oh, wow. That's big. That's a big gift. But yeah, so we've got stuff coming up. I'm always looking at new colours. I went up to the Carnival of Flowers last week. Was it last week? What's today? Thursday. Yes, it was last week. And I grabbed some beautiful photos. I'm not sure if you saw them. I popped some over on Instagram. There's some on the Chantel.Hills Instagram page as well. So that's more of a behind the scenes for Fibrific. So that's normally where you'll find more of my pet photos and things like that. I know just so many beautiful flowers. So I've grabbed some great photos. Albert Knights says Milky Tea. What? She said she was going to wear it when she FaceTimed her sister. That's so amazing. Sally says she's trying to decide when I dye if I stick to solids or to multi-speckle. It's hard to recreate the speckles. It is. It can be tricky to recreate speckles. But the reality is, when people buy hand-dyed yarn, they understand that. They know you're not a machine that's placing this speckle 1.75 millimeter away from the next speckle. They know it's a randomized thing, which is why it's a hand-dyed specialty. And as long as you're using similar colors and it's coming out fairly similarly, that's the word, isn't it? It just sounds wrong saying it. Yeah, so it is one of those things. Just a reminder for non-Queenslanders, next week is daylight savings. Oh, that's right, it is too. We don't have daylight savings in Queensland, so it is going to be an hour later for all of you outside of Queensland. Thank you, Natalie, for that reminder. I totally forgot. We don't do daylight savings in Queensland. And so it's still going to be the exact same time for me, but it's going to be later for you. So just keep that in mind. I'll make sure that I put up the card the night before so that you can check how many hours and set the reminder. Kerry says WA is no daylight savings either. So Kerry, you and I, we're good. Everyone else, they're in a mess. Do you have any small blinglets in stock? Yes, I do. I have heaps. They should all be on the website, right? I think they're all on the website. I got tons. I even have heaps I haven't bagged up yet. We're going to fall back over here. So you guys are going an hour back, so it'll be an hour earlier for you. So I'll try and keep doing what I did last night. I'm not sure how many of you actually saw it, but if you have a look on the Fibrific YouTube page and in the community tab, I put up a reminder saying that it's going to be on with a couple of time zones on it. So I'll see if I can do that again to remind people when it's going to be on. And I might even put in the extra time zone of, say, Sydney or something, just so that people can see the difference between Australian Standard and Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And so, yeah, I will definitely try to do that. But also, YouTube, it's another thing, guys, for those of you that are helping me out here. If you want to check the community tab every now and again and just hit like or even comment on those, YouTube are like, oh, hang on, core person, love stuff, get them in straight away when there is a new video. Where would blinglets be on the website? They are under Notions, but you can even just go into the search box at the top and type blinglets, and they'll just come straight up. Yeah, and they're super light. I don't think I've got a weight on them, but I think it's like 10 or 12 grams or something, so they're super light. Spanichick, master gluer of the blinglets. Thank you, Kim, for tossing up a link for Odd But Nice for blinglets. Now, the other thing to remember is Australia Post, in all their wisdom, have just changed how they do all of their parcel packaging. So the website, I think, is struggling a little bit especially with express post and international post. So if it's looking a little bit expensive, what's going to happen is, and you still put your order through, I'm going to charge you what I'm charged. I'm not going to be like, oh, cool, they paid X amount of dollars, I'll just keep it. I definitely won't do that. What I'll do is I'll be like, right, that should have been, $24, not $30, and then I'll just instantly refund you the difference. So don't panic if it's looking like it's a bit pricier, but the prices have gone up as well, so it may not be as big a discount as you're expecting. Wait, Spanner is Kim. Yes, Spanner Chick is Kim. So yeah, Kim has changed her YouTube name to Spanner Chick. So yeah, so that's some confusion. But yeah, so if you're ordering from the website and you're going outside of the flat rate postage, which unfortunately I've also had to increase the price on. I've still made it less expensive than what Australia Post are charging, which is $8.95 for parcels under 500 grams. I've got it, set at $8.50. No, not $8.95. They're up to $9.20 now, but I've got it set for $8.50. So it's still a little bit of a saving for you guys. I couldn't hold it anymore, which I'd held it for the last one, but I couldn't hold it again, if that makes sense. So I've had to increase the prices on the postage. So just keep an eye on it, and if you're curious about it, I'll double check the postage prices. Website on the phone is working just fine. Thank you, Wench. I appreciate that. We had some amazing guys come in and fix it up after the developer of the theme trashed it. So we had to get external developers in to fix that. Got to cover your costs. That's exactly right, Jackie. I read some interesting articles this week about Australia Post price gouging small businesses. I think for a lot of small businesses, their new system will work really, really well. And for even some of the things that I sell, it's going to work okay. So it's for things that are a bit heavier. So basically, if it fits in this size satchel, it's that price. So they're charging for the satchel sizes. And what do they call it? If it packs, it posts, is what they're saying. And so that's an advantage if you've got heavier product. So like say you buy Fibre scour, I can fit like a few of those into a bag, and one of those is normally like 600 grams. So I could never get it in, even though it's a small bottle, I could never put it into this small bags, whereas now I can put a couple in. So that's advantageous. But when it comes to things like fibre and yarn, I have to put those into a bigger satchel, or put them in my own packaging and work out the best way from there. And I work out from parcel to parcel which way works best, and get sort of a thing rolling with it. So I'll get used to the fact that no, I have to use the bigger satchel for this many skeins. But you guys get flat rate in Australia, so that doesn't make any difference for those who are on flat rate. It's just if you want express post or international post. So that was boring. Sorry for making that bit boring. So tonight is Caffeinated Crafters, and I am hanging out for it. So those of you that want to come and play, I'm going to bring the fluff for you to pat. I'll be working on my dad's hat to try and get that finished. Oh, quick question popped into my head. I haven't bought yarn for 12 months, so I'm a tad excited. Yarn ban over. I do have your yarn. It's ready to be packed into the car, Leanne. So anyone who's popped in orders who want me to bring it to Caffeinated Crafters, just send me a little reminder to make sure I actually bring it, because as Chintamani is aware, sometimes I forget. But no, Leanne's is ready. It just needs to go into the car, and yeah, so we'll see how we go with that. Do you have any red or blue shorties in stock? I have technically one set of blue shorties in stock. The website says that there's none, but I have one set. So I will see how that goes. I was going to use those for a video, but if they sell, they sell. That's how I see it. Can I bring your order as well? Okay, sure. I haven't seen your order yet, but if it's all in stock items, I will bring it with me for sure. So tonight is Caffeinated Crafters. And then this weekend I'm off to the Gympie Spinners and Weavers camp. I'll be posting photos. It's a beautiful place. Last year I got some gorgeous photos because the mornings, I've got this thing about misty photos. So the morning I was able to take some beautiful misty photos. Yeah. Spanichick says I can borrow hers for a video. Thank you, Spanichick. I appreciate that. So we've got like all these sorts of things coming up. It's also the time of year when things start to get just that little bit quieter around here as well. So I'm able to catch up on some stuff, plan big projects like this one. So I'm definitely going to be trying all of those. Josephine's popping in an order, so I need to. Okay, you guys, I'm going to need to bring like a big bag, aren't I? Be like, here's your things. Everyone can have their things. It'll be fun. It's a pity it won't be cool enough to wear your yarny stuff. I know. Although, look, last year at night it got really cold. So I made sure I took a beanie. I didn't have a scarf, which I regret. So I'm going to make sure I've got a shawl. I also bring like a little... I bring a little knee rug. I'm like holding my hands like this, like down here, like holding my knee rug. Because it gets cold at the spinning wheel, so I put it over my lap and just keep spinning. I'm nearly finished my blue. Hang on. I'll grab a photo of it and I'll put it up on Instagram later. I get to play Santa. Absolutely. Playing Santa is fun. Black Pearl Knit said that she may or may not pop in order to pick up as well. That's totally fine. Like, seriously, guys, save postage where you can. I am more than happy to bring things with me when I'm meeting up with people. It's like, if you're going to Gympie camp and you want me to bring something for you, I will totally bring it. Like, I'm all about not giving Australia Post more than their fair share, honestly. I'll have to teach myself how to use 2 circulars. I did it with the socks, but that was so last year. So last year. I thought you brought my rainbow scarf, or was that the year before? No, I did take your rainbow scarf. I didn't wear it. I just showed it. I didn't wear. I think I draped it once to show what it looked like on, and then I took it off. But Nice says I want to live close to you. Aww. I wish everyone could live like. Do you know? Actually, I'm glad we're all over the world, right? Like that's the reality. I'm glad we're everywhere, but I want technology for transporters so we can all just visit and still go home to the places that we love. That's what I want. So that Sally can come to Caffeinated Crafters. Also, how awesome would see now I'm on the transporter technology thing again. How easy would Bendigo be if we could just transport our stuff back home again, like at the end of each day, or even like not even being greedy, at the end of the weekend just send home, like have everything all laid out, send it home, then come home and send it home as well. I thought about coming for the day. We have too much on already. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, Star Trek, absolutely, bring it. I want transporter technology so bad. George Jetson style. Oh, TARDIS trips. See, look where. If only Brisbane wasn't so horrible and humid, I might consider moving back there. How easy would it be for me to move house to somewhere else if I could transporter everything? I've been playing Terraria with the kids and making teleporters to travel around the world. Yeah. See, Timmy had to buy another suitcase to bring home everything from Bendigo. Next year, you can just leave it with me and I'll bring it up with me, right? So if you do Bendigo again next year, you can just be like, Chantel, we've got these bags of stuff. Can you bring them home to Brisbane? I totally will. I do that whenever I can. But think of all the awesome company I would have. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's it. It's a stupid ocean. I've got a plan, right? I've got this plan and I'm saving up for it. There's an amazing video creators summit that's held in America. It's in LA near the airport, right? And I desperately want to go, right? I so desperately want to go, but it's just such an expensive, also terrifying, because I've never flown further than New Zealand, right? That's it, 3 hours, bam. And so I'm terrified of being on the plane for 18 hours or something. Like, I saw that I could travel anywhere from 16 to 22 hours, 12 to 22 hours, depending on layovers, and all the prices change. So, again, if I had lots of money, I would just go 12 hours. But I want to go and do this trip in America. But the reality is I'd only be able to get as far as LA. Who of you guys in America could get to LA to visit me while I'm there? That's my question. And that's not to say it's going to happen. I'm just curious. So, like, if I got over the ocean, could you meet me somewhere? It's mostly just boring and uncomfortable. See, that's my problem. The uncomfortable bit. I can deal with the boring bit. It's the uncomfortable bit. What if your molecules crash into someone else's while you were teleporting, like the Fly? The Fly doesn't use good teleporter technology. You need good Star Trek technology. So, yeah. But you need to buy all her stuff to make room for the suitcases. That's true. There needs to be room for the suitcase, but there usually is enough room. Lindsay says, sorry, wrong coast. Are you kidding? I saw like that there was a band that I really liked, and they made it all the way to Australia, but they didn't come to Queensland. So I actually flew down to Melbourne so I could see them, because they did the big trip. Oh, my dog's losing her mind. Oh, Postman. I just heard his bike. If you came to the US, I would meet you somehow. See, that's the thing. That's the spirit. It wouldn't be for it's at the earliest it's going to be 12 months, but probably more likely 2 years away. Kim says, and that all depends on how many bags I send home with you. That's actually a valid point, because there was a lot of Kim stuff in my car. Just give me fair warning. I will give you plenty of warning. I won't be like, hey, guess what? Next week I'm going to be... No! I'd be like, hey, in 8 months... I'm going to be at this event, and I'm going to stay in the area for an extra couple of days, including pudding balls. Oh my God, we had an entire green bag. So you guys know the green bag sizes, like the shopping bag totes. They're like that wide by about that wide by about that, I don't know, deep, I don't know, filled with pudding balls. We had like an entire bag of pudding balls in the car. Bub says, I have to go and sleep. Pain pills are kicking in, so bye from me. Bye, Bub. Have a good rest. There are no pudding balls left. They are all gone. And I'd order a whole bunch of stuff before you left, and I'd just pack it into my bag. Like customs, like, why do you have 14 kilos of yarn? I like yarn. Can't travel without it. So I would absolutely bring it with me. That would be so fun. All right, my lovely friends. I'm going to say farewell. I will see those of you tonight that I will see tonight. Otherwise, I'll see the rest of you next week. If you're a Patreon member, keep an eye out over on Patreon. I'll be talking more about the cotton dyeing adventures over there. Possibly a couple of photos on Instagram, but most of it will be on the Patreon page. So I will chat to you all later. So have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic weekend. And don't forget to start planning out your projects. Bye.